Okay, hello year 11s. I'm making this video just on the sources of finance and 3.5, which is the purchasing an existing business or establishing a new business. Okay. Now with these sources of finance, make sure you're taking proper notes and writing the key knowledge that you're achieving while doing every single point. So key knowledge for sources of finance is sources of finance available to establish a business and the factors affecting the choice. Okay, we're going to discuss them in a little bit more detail. Sorry, my cursor is not working. Okay, so sources of finance. Now, when you think about starting your own business, you need money. Okay, now when you need money, you need to plan. Okay, you need to plan to see how much money you can invest and how much money you need to get from the outside people. Okay, so external sources of finance and internal sources of finance. Okay, so when you're starting your business, you need to make sure you plan your business effectively and looking at what kind of sources you will need to run your business. Okay, now these are some internal sources of finance, which is called the equity finance. Okay, now equity finance, it refers to funds contributed to the business by the owner or owners. Okay, so business might have more than one owner, so that's why it's called owners, and owners might be able to actually invest the money in the business. Okay, now they're called self-funding. They can borrow money from family or friends, private investors, shares, or crowdfunding. Okay, these are some of the internal sources of finance that the businesses can use. Now there is some a little bit of detail in your books about the sources of finance. These all are pretty much straightforward. The crowdfunding may be a new word to you. So crowdfunding is something that you raise money by using the online or social media networks. Okay, now for example, if you want to appeal to some large businesses to invest money in your business because you're launching a new product, they might give you some funding. That is called the crowdfunding. Okay, now that was the internal sources of finance. Now I'm going to talk to you about the external sources of finance when you're borrowing the money from external parties. Okay, now external sources of finance could be debt finance and grants. Okay, now debt finance is when you're borrowing a loan. Okay, it's also called loan. It could be borrowed from banks, financial institutions, government, and suppliers. Okay, so government gives loans to small businesses, and suppliers, debt finance from suppliers means that they'll give you a few months to actually pay off if you buy something from the suppliers. Okay, so which can be up to 6 months. So that is also called a kind of a finance because you're not making the payment immediately. Okay, now grants, again, government offers grants to support new businesses. That's another way you can get some money to start your business. Okay, now when you're looking at sources of finance, you need to think of different options that suit your business. Okay, the questions to ask is what is the purpose of the funds. Okay, and the factors relating to the sources of finances. Okay, these are some of the factors that relate to the sources of finance. So you need to consider these factors and see what works best for you, for your business. Okay, now the first one is business structure. Okay, now there are different business structures: sole proprietorship, partnership, private or public company. Okay, we are going to discuss that in our next key knowledge point. So depending upon your business structure, you'll be looking at borrowing the funds. Okay, flexibility, the ability of the business to change the terms of the agreement or exit the loan. Okay, so you need to be able to be flexible with the terms of loan, and if you want, you should be able to exit the loan sooner rather than later, but again, that all depends upon the structure of your business. Okay, now the third one is terms of finance, the amount and frequency of repayments. Okay, now you need to understand that if you're borrowing a loan, you have to repay the money pretty much every month. Okay, you're paying the money, you're paying the interest on top of that. You need to be able to see what amount is the repayment and what is the frequency. So your business should be able to actually meet those expectations. If your business is not generating enough profit and you can't make the repayments, then you need to make sure that you're getting the loan that is best suited for your business. Okay. Level of control: how much ownership over the decisions made by the business will be retained if the owner chooses a given source of finance. Now, sometimes when you're borrowing loan from external parties, then you need to pledge your business. Okay. Now, when you're pledging your business, the person who is giving you a loan, or maybe the financial institutions, they might take over the control of your business. You may not have enough control to be able to run the business in the way you want. Okay, so you need to see what kind of thing best works for you. So you need to be able to borrow the money, and you should still have the access to your business, and maybe you should be able to make decisions for your business on your own. Okay, sorry. Overall cost: the added up value of all repayments made over the life of the loan. Okay, so you need to be able to see what the overall cost of the loan is, and it needs to suit the needs of your business. Okay, so these are some things you need to keep in mind when you're actually asking for finances, sources of finances. Okay. Now this is pretty much it for this key knowledge point. I'm going to cover the next key knowledge point as well, which is purchasing an existing business or establishing a new business. Okay. Now the key knowledge here is costs and benefits of purchasing an existing business compared with establishing a new business. Okay. Now, purchasing an established business. What do you think are the advantages of purchasing an established business? Okay, let's go through them one by one. Existing customers. So when you're purchasing an established business, you already have the customers for that business. Okay, so you don't need to go and look for more customers. You already have the customers. You just need to make the product and sell. Okay. Now, easier to obtain finance because it's already in business. It's easier to obtain finance because the business you're buying will already have a reputation in the market. Okay, so it's easier to get a finance for an already established business. Now, when the business is already running, it will have all the labor and capital resources. Now, you should remember natural labor and capital resources. The labor resource is your employees. Okay. And capital resources is the machinery, the things that you need to actually run the business. Okay, so they are already existing in the business. You don't need to spend money or you spend your time or sourcing these things. Okay, when you're hiring employees, it takes a lot of time and money out of your pocket. So when you already have those resources over there, that is actually a good thing. Okay, now the last thing is inventory has already been purchased and is ready for sale. Okay, so you already have the ready to sell products when you're purchasing an established business. Okay, now these are some of the advantages. However, there are some disadvantages as well. Let's go through them as well. Now, when you're purchasing an established business, there are some disadvantages. Okay, now when you purchase an established business, it may not be always possible for you to run the business in your own way. Okay, because you're likely to inherit failing and unsuccessful processes and procedures. Okay, when a business is already running, it is hard to actually change the processes and procedures because the employees are so embedded in doing those processes and procedures. It's really hard for them to adapt to new changes. Okay, for anyone, it's really hard to adapt to new changes. You'll resent yourself. Okay, maybe difficult to change policies. People want to just keep going in the way they are going. When we ask them to make changes, they're not very happy with that. Okay, and employees may resent the new owner. Okay, so employees that in the beginning may not be happy with the new owner. If you're purchasing an established business, you need to actually be able to build some connections with your employees until they can trust you. Okay, so it is going to be a little bit hard in the beginning. Okay, now these are the advantages and disadvantages. You can pause here and write down the advantages and disadvantages in your notebook. Okay, Now again, these are the same as we discussed. Sales to existing customers generate instant income. Because we already have the customers, we're starting to get instant income. So if the business history is good, it is going to be a successful business anyway. It's easier to obtain finance. The stock is already there for sale, so you can start earning income straight away. The seller may offer advice and training, so they may offer advice and training to the staff that you will be hiring into the business. Okay, so they may be able to give you some skills, which is a good thing for your business. Equipment is available for immediate use. So again, the capital resources and labor resources, so existing employees and equipment is available for use. Okay. Now disadvantages, existing image and policies of the business. So the policies may not be really good, and you may not like them. So if you want to change them, it's going to be hard, especially if the business has a poor reputation. The success of the business may have been due to the previous owner's personality and contacts. Okay, so there's different disadvantages there. It's difficult to assess the value of goodwill. Some employees may resent any change to the business operations. Okay. Now, starting a new business. I'm quickly going to go through the advantages of starting a new business. So when you start a new business, it's new from scratch. You have the freedom to establish culture. You can do whatever you want. What kind of employees you want, what sort of culture you want to build in your business, and you can control the pace of growth. You can go boundless, or you can do as less growth as you want. Okay. Now again, some disadvantages. It may take time to get customers, staff and suppliers, because you need to hire the staff. You need to look for what suppliers are best for you. You need to establish your reputation so you get more customers. Okay. Even if you look at ourselves, when we see a new business, we are a bit hesitant to go to that business until we see good reviews. Okay. Now it is going to be slow to generate profit, because initially when you're starting a business, you may not earn profit straight away. It is going to take time for you to establish it. Okay. Hard to obtain finance, because there's no reputation for that business just yet. So it may be hard to obtain the finance. All risk falls on the owner. It's a high risk business. Okay. So it may or may not do well. It is going to be a high risk business if you're looking at starting a new business. Now these are some advantages and disadvantages. So pause here and write them down in your notebook as notes. And thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye.